Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my first ever synthesizer, the Korg Monologue. And I know I said my Mini Lab 3 was my first ever synthesizer, but that was kind of a joke because it's just a MIDI controller. This is an actual analog synthesizer. And honestly, there are a few parts I really like about this and a few parts that I actually hate. One that I knew going into it, but I didn't realize how big of a limitation it is it's monophonic, meaning you can only play one note at a time. You can't play like two chords at the same time. You can't play that. It only plays the top note if you do that. So yeah, it's only monophonic, meaning you can only play one note at a time, which is a pretty big limitation, and I didn't even realize it until I actually got it. And it is jarring going from like a MIDI controller where I can play like three notes, like a boom like that easily, and then I can't do that with this. Another thing that is a huge limitation are the user presets, patches, whatever you want to call them, but like the user assignable ones where you like, change the sound how you want and then save it. There's only 20 slots for it. 20. Keep in mind, if you spend about double the money for like a Korg Monologue XD, that has 300. That's more than quadruple, way more than quadruple. And it's just a huge limitation. Another thing, just the presets in general, there's only 80, and some of them are just hit or miss. Some of them just aren't that great. So, yeah, you're really just taking a shot in the dark with just the presets, and some of them just aren't that good. Some of them are pretty good, but again, it's just hit or miss here and there. Also, again, it's just kind of limited in like the form factor as well. There's not a whole lot of keys, so you can't really, you have to really like switch the octave. Oh, and another thing, speaking of octave, the octave switch, I accidentally broke mine, so I probably have to get this fixed, and I don't even know if I'm going to return this or not, because honestly, this is a really good synth for like aggressive acid sounds, and if you want that, and if you know it's monophonic, you know the limitations, then go for it. But for me personally, I probably want like more. I like aggressive sounds because I listen to like Aphex Twin, like Acid, stuff like that, Daft Punk, stuff like that. But it's like I also want like more ambient, like leads and like basic leads and stuff like that. And this kind of doesn't have anything ambient wise or anything chill wise. There's like some like 8-bit kind of stuff, I guess, what you can classify as that, but still, like you have to do some like major like or at least like change out a bunch of the stuff, like a bunch of these knobs to really get a kind of close to ambient sound with this. And I do think the main star of the show is the sequencer. Like you can just easily just boom, 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 key, 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 and then boom, you filled it out. It's a very easy synthesizer, and the slides are nowhere near as bad as they are in like the TB303 or TD03, where you have to like it's just a hassle with the slides here. You can just boom, 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 slides applied. And yeah. One thing I did say that I didn't actually show, the octave key. I broke it. I accidentally dropped this thing, which is a shame, because again, I was actually contemplating on returning this or not, and now I have to get this repaired. So yeah, basically, I dropped it. I think, fortunately, it only broke this, but it still did break it slightly, to where it will kind of just get stuck here, and I have to like flick it back. It's not that big of a deal, but it still is something I need to get fixed if I do want to return it, which is a huge bummer, because again, I just broke it when I was just trying to put it on this stand. That was when I broke it, of course. So now I have to get it fixed, and it's just annoying. I guess lesson learned to be more careful, but yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. But again, there's some good things I really like about it. I like the pitch bend. It's fun to mess around with, and I like just twiddling around with all the knobs. And again, the sequencer is probably the best part. Very easy to toy around with. It's easy to get good sounds out of this, and that's a huge plus. But the limitations are also huge, and there's not a whole lot of variety of sounds. And I knew that going into it. I knew it does aggressive sounds, and that's it. but I thought it at least did like, maybe one or two, like a few maybe calm sounds here and there. No, it basically only does aggressive sounds, again, unless you do a bunch of modifications, and then it'll make maybe like an ambient sound here or there. You can also do some like creepy stuff with it as well, which is cool. And the aggressive stuff it's really good at doing aggressive stuff, but that's again really all it can do, and that is a major limitation, especially for me who wants to do, start getting into more ambient, like making more ambient music and making like a wide variety of synth music and wide variety of electronic music. Only having a synthesizer that only does aggressive, like acid or aggressive techno, whatever you call it, is a pretty big limitation. So I don't know if I want to get this repaired and then returned. It's going to cost a decent amount to repair it anyway, and then returning it is just kind of going to be a hassle. Or if I just keep it, or then just like, have it on hand if I do want to make like aggressive sounds with another synth in the future. So I could like double duty it and just, for more aggressive sounds, go to this one, and for more general sounds, go to the other one. I'm not sure. Give me some recommendations of what I should do. Say if I should return it or not. I don't know. I'm still deciding. But yeah, it's just again a shame that I accidentally dropped it and this thing happened. Give me again recommendations of how to fix this. I don't think this would be that hard to fix, but I'm still gonna have to go to like a repair shop probably and get that fixed up, especially if I do want to return it. But yeah, that's basically it. There's not a whole lot else to say. I'm just a tad bit disappointed because I thought this could do a little bit more than what it actually does. I did research. I knew it did aggressive sounds, but I didn't realize how limiting the monophonic stuff was, and also just aggressive sounds was. And also, this doesn't do stereo output. It only does mono output, which could be a plus, could be a minus for you, but for me, it's a minus. I like stereo, so it's kind of a bummer that, again, only does mono output. You can't even, like, choose between mono, stereo. Nope, only mono, which I guess is less ports. I guess that's a plus, but again, I would prefer stereo than no stereo. But that's basically it. I guess the screen is also cool. I like seeing the waveform, and it's very easy, again, to get good results out of this. It's very easy to just mess around with it, have fun, but it's just very limiting in other factors, and that's why I might be returning it. Again, still deciding. But that's going to be it. My first ever synthesizer, the Korg Monologue. But I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Oh, and yes, I will be making music with it. Don't worry, I'll upload that soon.